You've probably been told to just move more and eat less if you want to lose weight. And maybe you've tried that. You started working out more, eating less, and possibly even cutting out some of your favorite foods. But unfortunately, the results never matched the effort. And instead, you just felt more tired, more hungry, and still stuck. But what most people don't realize is that this advice, when done in the wrong way, could actually make fat loss harder, not easier. A lot of people assume that if they're not seeing results, the solution is to train more. So they add in extra cardio or even double the length of their sessions. But this creates an imbalance between work and recovery. When you're constantly training, especially without enough rest, food, or structure, your workouts can stop being productive. You're continuously breaking down your body without giving it a chance to rebuild, which can lead to things like fatigue, poor performance in your next session, elevated stress hormones like cortisol, injuries, and even eventual plateaus or loss of muscle. Instead of helping you lean out, your workouts can actually start working against you, keeping you inflamed, exhausted, and feeling stuck. In my experience as a nutrition coach and personal trainer for the last 5 years, most people do not struggle with effort. They have no problem putting in the work, especially in the gym. What they actually struggle with is aligning their workouts and nutrition with their goals, and doing that in a way that is actually sustainable for them. A smart approach with 3 to 4 well-structured resistance training sessions and enough recovery is not only more effective, but it's what's going to keep you from burning out or falling off altogether. But overtraining is really only part of the issue because most people are also underfueling themselves at the same time. And that combo is really where the trouble starts. Now let's talk about food, which is really the point where most people start to feel really stuck. The common mindset is that if I want to lose body fat, I need to eat as little as possible. The go-to move for most people is to start cutting out meals or avoiding carbs or eliminating their favorite foods from their diet altogether. But here's what actually happens when you take that overly restrictive approach. It usually works for a little while until your motivation starts to dip or stress kicks in or your energy levels just drop. And then suddenly the cravings and hunger seem to hit really, really hard. Because when your body is underfed, that's when your hunger signals are really going to ramp up. And that is a natural result of being in a calorie deficit. Do not get me wrong on that. I think more people need to know that so they could better accept it and better prepare for the diet they're about to do. But the more extreme the calorie deficit you're in, or the more restrictive you are, the more extreme that hunger and those cravings are going to feel. This is usually when the cycle starts. You mess up, you overeat, you feel guilty, and you feel shameful, and then you have to restrict even harder the next day. You're not failing your diet because you're weak or you lack discipline. It's just that the system that you set up for yourself was designed to backfire in the first place. Successful fat loss does not come from eating as little as possible. It comes from eating as much as you can while still being able to make progress towards your goals. That means including foods that you actually enjoy, building satisfying meals, and creating a small calorie deficit that's livable even on days where your motivation is extra low. There is one last piece that ties this all together, and I think it's the main reason that people stay stuck even when their effort is through the roof. When you are constantly doing too much and seeing very little results for the effort that you're putting in, what usually happens? Usually you burn out, you fall off, and you start thinking, what's even the point of all this? And then you start to swing back to old habits. This on again, off again cycle is what usually keeps people from ever seeing long-term success and results. It isn't that you weren't trying hard enough, it's that you were doing the wrong things too intensely and expecting them to actually be sustainable. I'll say it a little louder for the people in the back, but long-term success does not usually come from doing the most. That means training hard enough, not all the time. Eating in a small calorie deficit, not practically starving yourself. And managing stress, not ignoring it. The more your routine fits into your life, the more likely you are to stick with it, even when life gets a little bit messy. So if you've taken the advice of moving more and eating less and you're still not seeing results, it's not because you aren't trying hard enough. It's because you're now stuck in a cycle that's too hard to maintain. And if you're ready for something a little bit more structured, my Strong and Lean Foundations program is linked in the description below. It's extremely beginner-friendly, and it gives you the flexibility and support that you need to build muscle, lose fat, and stay consistent without having to overhaul your whole life. If you're just getting started and you want more guidance on how to lose fat, build muscle, and actually understand what works, I've got a whole playlist for beginners on this topic already that you guys can check out right here. So make sure you guys check that out in the description below, and thank you for watching this video, and I will see you on the next one.